determined to succeed, as fixed on a prize, nothing can stop her. She's all out, inspired every eye, and never will give up until at the top the world is an oyster. Sedulous woman, the new girl boss. Sedulous woman, the new girl boss, impacting our world. That's the way it goes. See you at the top where we all belong. Oh, I'm sedulous. Oh, I'm sedulous. Oh, I'm sedulous. Sedulous, sedulous woman, the new girl boss. Sedulous woman, the new girl boss, impacting our world. That's the way it goes. See you at the top where we all belong.
Our next guest is Adenike Abiola. Wow, this lady, she is phenomenal. She's phenomenal. She's fashionable. She's our diva. So I can't wait to listen to her speak. She's the project manager at the Canadian Mental Health Association. Please, let's listen to her profile.
Adenike Abiola is a social worker by profession with 12 years of experience currently as a program manager for disability services with the Canadian Mental Health Association in Grande, Prairie, Alberta. She's a passionate lover of fashion and loves empowering others. She enjoys being a leader just because it gives her the platform to inspire and support others. Adenike also doubles as a CEO of Porsche Avenue Couture, a fashion outlet that was created out of love and passion for fashion, being a fashionable person herself. She just wanted to create an avenue for other women who love fashion and like to look luxurious for affordable prices by designing unique looks with different fabrics for different occasions. Ladies, sit tight as we welcome Adenike Abiola.
Welcome, 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 Adenike Abiola. You have quite a lot of good connection with your mental health worker and also a fashion. That's really nice to hear. The topic today that she's going to talk about is the self-care for women of purpose, and she's going to talk about her career and entrepreneurial return. Please welcome Adenike Abiola.
Hello, dears. Hello, beautiful women. How are you all doing today? I've just been sitting here quietly listening to everyone. So I guess this is a forum where we get to be ourselves. So I have to appreciate Ejibole for doing a brilliant job, bringing all these great-minded women together. And, just from our last speaker, I just want to appreciate you for the ability to express your vulnerable side. I don't think every women have that opportunity to understand how to resonate and help us connect, interpersonally. So kudos to you. Me, I really appreciate that. So to all the other leaders, who's been helping this platform grow, I must acknowledge your hard work. Thank you for your dedication as well. So my name is Adenike Abiola. I'm a Nigerian Yoruba, popularly known as Nikki. That's what people call me here in Canada, Nikki. And that name actually is better for me because if I have to, dictate how people are pronouncing my name or how it gets me offended, trust me, I think I'll at some point need a lot of mental health help. So I guess to make it easier for myself and for other people that I support in my community and work with, the name Nikki was changed to Nikki.
can hear you. If we can all mute her mic, I think she's probably off right now. Maybe it's the network. So I'm gonna mute my mic and see if she can come back on.
Nikki, are you okay?
You're on mute. Yeah, she needs to unmute herself.
Yeah,
Okay,
can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Can you all hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I've just been blabbing away. I didn't realize I've lost you guys. I'm so sorry about that. So can you hear me? Are we on now? Okay. All right. So my name is Adenike Abiola. Like I said, I'm a Yoruba lady. I'm from Osun State. I said that I'm probably known as Nikki here. And I said, you know, to be able to work with other people that I work with and my colleagues, the name Nikki was actually changed to Nikki. That's where the name Nikki came from. You know, I was raised by my stepmom and my dad. My mom is pretty much in my life as well. But there's a reason why I mentioned that platform, because this is where I've gotten all the strengths and the abilities that I have today, and which I'm hoping at some point I'll be able to communicate to every one of us, how, you know, some of our stories help us to become who we are. So I am a social worker by profession, and also a business owner of Posh Avenue Couture, which is also a fashion designer, designing clothesline for elegant women. So my profession actually started about 12 years ago as a social worker. Currently, I support and I manage this SPD program, which is called for Support for Persons with Disability program under the Canadian Mental Health Association here in Prairie. So currently we support about 18 individuals with different kind of mental health problems and also emotional disabilities. So what we do is offer them different kind of ways of coping and also helping them to integrate and become part and parcel of the community in which they reside here in Prairie. I'm the program manager for that program, and we're also funded to PDD, which is Persons with Disability under the Alberta Health and Alberta government. So that's where our two fundings comes from. So now let's talk about you know, the reason why I'm here today, which is self-care, you know, for every purposeful woman, and the importance and for us to identify who we are, to become that excellent person in terms of whatever we do. And I also want to put it out there, the importance of us to seek knowledge in our overall well-being. Because, you know, as business owners or as people who wants to aspire higher in our careers and, you know, build better platform, we need to understand that as much as we're growing in that level, it is important to self-care and take care of ourselves because we are who we present. And it is important that, you know, we take that as a learning and also to grow and become better leaders. So that's just what I'm here to discuss today. I won't tie you down into my background. Pretty much is out there. I graduated from Obafemi Awolowo University in Nigeria. I had my master's degrees as well there. I came to Canada and did my social work. And the reason why I chose social work was just because of some of the dynamics in which I learned from in Nigeria into some of the dysfunctionality. And I would say in terms of I would call it conflicts now that I'm beginning to evolve in my career. In some of the things that, you know, I don't want to put down Nigeria, but in terms of the knowledge and the resources that is important as we grow as leaders to be able to go back home and make that significant impact. So coming to Canada, migrating to Canada from England, which I also did for 7 years, I realized that it's important that you know, some of all of this dynamics is something that we can take back and involved in our lives. So the way I was supported when I came to Canada really gave me that platform to choose my career wisely. I didn't want to be a nurse, and I know that I have a strong voice to impact and advocate for others. So advocacy is my big strength, and that's why I chose social worker, or being a social worker, or being social work. So now let's go into the self-care for women. My topic here is about mental health, emotional well-being, and physical well-being. You know, as we grow in our lives, for me, I would say this resonated strongly about 6 years ago when I was growing this program that I currently manage. I experienced what is called burnt out and you know, compassion fatigue, whereby I wasn't beginning to see human beings for who humans were. I was beginning to see human beings as index, like numbers. I was beginning to think or run after the funding and like, oh yeah, we're managing $2 million contract right now. I wasn't seeing the importance and the significance of managing human lives anymore. And I knew something was wrong. And that was when I realized that I had been emotionally fatigued. And that's because I've been giving and giving and giving. I didn't have the ability to be able to feel myself back. And that's when I began to read and I began to seek help and begin to seek resources to be able to help myself. And because of the individuals that I support in my program or in my career, I realized that I was depleted because I was always being that solution-oriented person for them, advocating for them, trying to make sure that, you know, they fit into the gaps of the community, ensuring that, you know, their needs are being met, whether it's the medical, legal system and all that piece that, you know, makes them valuable in the community. And at the end of the day, I was depleted myself and I didn't know how. So I like I said, I had to start seeking that knowledge. And that's when I realized that there was something called stress. And, you know, we try to bone it, you know, into a factor where we're strong women are not sick. You know, you have to be bold, you just have to be strong. And I was becoming extremely useless to myself and to my family as a whole. Because at the end of the day, I realized that, you know, I was just unmotivated. I just wasn't positive all the time. I was avoiding people. I just was speaking very, very, how would I say, negative. I had zero tolerance to be able to have compassion or tolerate anyone's kind of complaint. So I knew that I was actually burnt out. So, and that's when I started to work on myself. And in saying that to every woman, because I know that we're very busy people, we multitask a lot, being a wife, being a mother, you know, trying to build a business as well, also, you know, in your career. So we women naturally are givers. And if you don't know how to replenish yourself and, you know, reward yourself back, you're going to experience burnout. And at the end of the day, you're depleted and you have no good to the society anyways. And so I just want to be able to share with us today some of the ways to identify, you know, when we're stressed out or when we're burnt out, and to tell you some of those things that you might not even identify is happening to you, but, you know, to be able to acknowledge when you need to feel up. So for example, in anxiety, I didn't know what anxiety was, except that, you know, I just always had this rush of emotions where I'm panicking, my heart is racing, and I'm under a lot of tension for no reason. You know, I went to see my family doctor who told me, well, you need to slow down. You're too busy. You have so much going for you. But I knew that that was not just right. And that's when I began to sought more help and I realized, oh, it's anxiety. And of course, they wanted to put me on medication for anxiety. I said, no, I'm not. There's no way I'm going to twist my brain. If this came in, I can work ways out on how to work around my anxiety. So I started to read more about anxiety, depression as well. You know, this part of town that we reside, it's a very cold place whereby, you know, we experience, you know, this rigorous weather, which is really harsh for our emotions and mental well-being. So that contributed to it as well. So some of us, you know, who reside in Canada, you know, where we don't see a lot of sunlight, which is vitamin D, you know, it can eventually result to you having depression. You would not even know. And, you know, depression also is an underlying cause to other illness. And I also realized that, trauma from the past, if not really well treated or well managed, can also kind of aggravate the anxiety and the depression piece that we're talking about. And, some of the things that happened to me was that I started to have what I would call not being able to sleep more than 2-3 hours in the night. I was always restless, fidgeting. For some reason, I'll have this outburst of anger. Sometimes I'm really, really on, how do I want to say? Like, basically, I just feel really low in energy. And that's when I began to realize that, okay, now the anxiety is beginning to be, is beginning to flow into something much more severe, which was more depression. So I started to work on that. And how did I get myself back? It was just reminding myself of who I am and not to lose myself in my job or in trying to help others while I'm neglecting myself. And that's why I started to do a lot of self-care. So that's when I started to change my diet. I started to work out more, going to the gym. I started to associate myself with a lot of positive, motivated people, people who saw value in what I was doing. And also some of my individuals that I knew that somehow they're dealing with that and learning from them as well. So basically, it's important for us to be able to, to identify that these things happen. It's not a cause. It's not something that happens. It just happens based on how busy and rigorous our days become. And over the years, if you leave yourself unattended to, if you leave yourself uncared to, and where all you do is give, this can happen. You can begin to re-traumatize yourself, and you begin to experience all this, mental health problems that I've just, disclosed to you guys. One of the other things that I've realized is important is when I talk about exercising, is the physical well-being of things. Because, for you to be out there, you need to be physically fit. I did not know that. I just felt I could eat anything. If I'm a size 16 today, that's fine. I buy myself size 16 clothes. If I want to be a size 20, I choose to be size 20. I just go shopping for size 20. But I realized that all these things, even now when I look into my clothes and some of the things I'm not wearing anymore, I'm like, I can't believe I used to be this size. But I realized it was called, I was just basically neglecting myself. And now going back into my original size, which after going to my medical with my doctor, and going through my body mass and my density, what I should weigh, what my body can carry, I've now kind of informed myself and re-educated myself into, okay, this is actually what is right for my body, so that at the end of the day, I am not sick. I can be physically strong, and I can also be mentally stable. So now let's talk about the emotional well-being as well, because all of these three pieces that I'm discussing today kind of works in our lives. It can work for us, and it can also work against us, which is, I've mentioned the mental health part, and I've talked about the physical part. And I'm also going to talk about the emotional well-being of things. And that is that sense of knowing that you're enough. When do you know that you're enough? When do you know that you're significant? And not out of the value of what people think about you or how people see you. Because that's one of the most number one killer of self-esteem to every woman. And, that's something that we don't recognize. Sometimes it's by going on social media. You just see another woman looking great, and right there, you just feel down about yourself, where you're like, okay, I'm not worthy enough, and you begin to see yourself not better. And the truth of the matter is, all of this can be fixed. It's just important in how you reach out and look inward about who you are. And the emotional piece of things is just knowing that, you're responsible for yourself. You're responsible and accountable for yourself. So whether it's looking good, whether it's taking care of your diet, whether it's taking care of your mental health being and your emotional well-being, you are accountable for your own self first. So how others sees you, it's not important to you. It is about you. And also knowing that you don't carry the victim mindset. Like I've just kind of told you some of those challenges that I had myself. I chose not to walk in that victim mindset. I just saw it like, okay, it's a challenge. It's not a problem. So how do I fix this challenge that has entered into my life? Is it by raising kids? Is it through marriage? Is it true friends? Basically, I had to start working on all of that. And I said, okay, one of the things I was going to do for myself is I'm not going to be a victim person. I'm just choosing not to. I choose to rise above all of this limitation. And I decided to start choosing my circle very, very well. You know, pretty much I associate myself with women who are empowering, friends who would understand me from the level of where I'm coming from and who is willing to support me. I reach out for support from my husband, from my friends, from my kids. Even in growing my business, I had to grow a number of other people to support me, to manage my business so that I am not consumed and overwhelmed. And another piece that I want to say is that know when to step back, strike a balance. You know, you can't do it all. Prioritize things in your life. When you want to go out, when you want to go to the gym, when you know that you have to go to sleep. There's sometimes 2 days, 3 days, I just shut myself off the social media because I know that mentally I'm not there. I've just given all week. I don't want to go into something toxic for myself. So in saying all of this, because I really have a short time to really discuss much, is that it's important that whatever the appearance you want to present comes from the inward first. It comes from you as a person identifying that I'm important and I deserve to live. And not just live, but live a healthy life. Because when you're healthy, then you're much more meaningful. When you're much more meaningful, then you're impactful. Then you can impact others. Then you can tell your story. People can really say, yes, I've seen her evolved from a place of nothing to this. So I think looking at all of this is how we can look into ourselves to become that woman of purpose. And that is simply by self-care. And, you know, everybody's definition of self-care is different. I'm not here to tell you that going to the gym 3 times a day is self-care. I've just told you basically almost everything that I do, you know, that has brought me to this place. And I must tell you today that I look back and I'm like, I wish I knew this 5-6 years ago. I wouldn't be where I am now. I would have evolved greater. And that's just what I have to say to you ladies today, that it is important that you take care of yourself, both your physical well-being, both your mental well-being and your emotional well-being. I hope in this little short time of mine, I've been able to impact you in one way or another, and hopefully we can take this and evolve with it. So thank you.